Today on In the Woodyard, I got a show for you. I was at a show. We're going to talk about a show. It's show time. So I went to the Richmond Logging Expo with Blockbuster. They flew me out there and got to spend a few days there. It was pretty cool going to a show in a different part of the country. Really nice show. If you weren't there, you should have been. The equipment and the size of the show, I would say, is probably the second nicest, biggest show. I would say the Bunyan show is the only one that's probably bigger. So if you're in that area next year, you should make a point to go. There was a lot of really good vendors there and a lot of cool stuff to see. So when I was at the show, we spent a lot of time in the Blockbuster booth. This is the day before. Jake is assembling all of the logs, and he got all the machines in place and got stuff set up so that we could display for the people and demonstrate and chat with the people and answer any questions they have, and just basically let the people play with the machines. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize. You go to a show like this, you can actually use the machines at the shows. Most of the vendors there have equipment so that you can actually try it out, because if you are going to be investing in a big piece of the equipment for your operation, you want to be able to actually physically touch it, try it out, test it out, ask questions, really look it over, because it's a big investment. And at these shows is really the best place to do that, because they'll bring their products there that you can check it out and watch them actually run. It's something that you should do just for the entertainment value also, because there's a lot of things there that you can try out that maybe you aren't in the market for, but you can test it, ask questions, learn some stuff, and maybe find something that you could use in your operation, or even just for yourself personally. There's at these shows, there's everything. I mean, you've got log splitters, you've got chainsaw demonstrations, processors, obviously, like you see here, and so much equipment. There's kilns, there's forestry equipment, harvesters, forwarders, everything to do with wood manufacturing. Anything in the timber industry is at these shows, and you really should go. They are fantastic. Generally, you can't even see everything in one day, because there's so much to see, so much to look at, and the demonstrations are very cool. And the people that go to these shows, that are the vendors, put a lot of time and effort into them. You can see this guy here, he's testing all the machines. That's what a lot of people do, is they'll actually get to try it out, get a little lesson on how it works, and see it firsthand, because there's nothing like actually getting the hands on it and seeing it yourself and getting a feel for what a machine will do. So it's pretty cool. This guy ran the B18 processor, and you can see how fast it is. He's just kind of shocked once he pulls the lever there on the ram, because it just takes off like a bullet and then goes back, and he's like, holy smokes. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. You get to try all this stuff out. The amount of time and effort that the vendors put into this is absolutely incredible, because most of these people are all over the United States, or even in Canada, or maybe even from some foreign countries that bring equipment. So they're putting a lot of time and effort just to get there. A lot of expense in getting the machines there, setting them up. Like you saw in the beginning of the video, Jake was running the skid steer and loading the logs. So they have to rent a skid steer. I don't know, it's like $1,500 for a couple days. They have to actually buy the logs, so that's, I don't know, $500-600 that they spent on logs. They have hotel rooms, they've got meals, they've got entertaining they're doing with people, car rentals. I mean, to do a show for even a small operation, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, 5 to 10 grand is nothing for them. I shouldn't say it's nothing, it's a big deal, but that's pretty common. They'll spend at least that, and that plus they're paying the salary of the people to be there. So a lot of effort goes into it, and there's hundreds and hundreds of displays like this big Moorbark here. Pretty dang cool stuff. So if you're just a big kid at heart and you like big machinery, this is also pretty darn cool to see this stuff. These are some kiln racks. I thought those would be awesome for firewood, just for storage, but they're made so they're stackable, so they can go into the kilns. And so there's a kiln right there. It's a portable one with the trailer. But I thought those racks were really well made, way better than IBC totes, like 10 times better, because they're going to last a very long time. Built much more heavy duty. Here was kind of a cool machine. This was a new I think this is one of their newer ones that they have, a Halverson. It's for cutting rounds, cutting logs into rounds. It's got a little scoop in front. You can see that for picking up the logs, and then the operator runs it on the inside. Most of their units that they have are somewhere starting at in the mid-20s, might be 25, 30,000, something like that. So if you've got a skid steer already, this might be a machine you'd look at. But again, you have to have a skid steer to run them, so there's that. But a lot of people do have skid steers, and you could do it. And this one here is just cutting rounds. They've also got one that splits at the same time. So that's pretty cool. You'll see that in just a little bit. They got lots of different models, lots of different machines. But there are some things like here he's going to pick up a log, and it doesn't quite fit into the rack that's there. So he'd have a second machine shove it, I think is what I remember happens here. Or he has to do a cutoff. He just cuts part of it off because it wouldn't fit in there. He was trying to jiggle in there. So I think obviously 8 or a 10-foot log would have fit in easier. So he has to actually cut the end off to get it to go in so that then he can use the forwarding roller. It's a tooth roller that he can, right there, he basically advance the log into the stop, and then he can cut it to the preferred length that he wants. So it's a pretty cool machine to see. I think these are machines that are very useful if you've got a skid steer. I've seen a lot of other machines that use skid steer for mounts for splitting wood, but I think this is the only one that exists because of patents and things that they have for cutting and splitting. It's their original design, but pretty darn cool thing. Here's a little bigger one. Again, I don't know the costs on these. I know they're tens of thousands of dollars, but very cool. That one there's a 36-incher, and it's got a 3/4 pitch chain on it, like for loggers. So 36-inch cut you could do it. Obviously, that's not going to be something the average skid steer is going to be able to hold. This is one I think that's more of their normal one. I think this is called a 150, and I think this is right around 25 grand, something like that. But pretty darn cool. I thought I was pretty impressed watching it. Obviously, like I said, you got to have the skid steer, and you got to be a good operator to get use out of it. My way of thinking is I'd rather have a dedicated machine for a particular purpose. I really like the Blockbuster processors, obviously, because I've got one to use, and I got a tractor for loading it that I use for other things too. But here you can see how it picks it up and moves it around. Here's, I think this is the one I remember right now. They had to, I think the guy operating, his boy, who looked like he was, I don't know, 10, 12 years old, hopped on another mini skid steer and had to shove the log in because he couldn't do anything with it. It wouldn't advance one way or the other, and he couldn't cut it. It was too big. So it's got some limitations, but I think with the right setup, with the right size wood, it would be ideal. He could have, if he had a log pile or something to push against, he could have, turned the skid steer and shoved the log in, but here he was trying to get it jockey into position so the roller could advance it, but he couldn't grab it. So he has his son hop in. You'll see it coming up in just a little bit here. But very cool machine. There's lots and lots of stuff like this to see at these shows and watch them operate. And I think for like a lot of people that have farms that heat with wood that have boilers, this type of an attachment would be neat because a lot of farms have skid steers, and they'd be able to put this on and be able to process, rounds. There's the boy came running. So yeah, can you imagine being that old and being able to run that machinery? He must be having a blast. Must be cool. There's a lot of kids, all they do is play video games, but this kid's doing the real game. It's real work. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of fun for a kid that age. I just wonder about safety and liability and all that stuff. So, but yeah, he shoved it on, got it on the right spot here. He lifted it up, and he's going to shove it on, and you can get it to where you can cut with it. But then again, if you got long logs, you have to have two machines to run it. So that's one of the things, and two people. So there's that too. I was just thinking that it was kind of cool that the young lad got to help his dad out there. Pretty cool. But yeah, this thing is fast. I don't know exactly all the specifications on it, but it cuts pretty quick. And for cutting rounds, it's pretty neat. You could do a mess of wood. And if you're sitting in heated or air conditioned, whatever you need, cab quieter. You know, one guy could produce a whole bunch of wood pretty fast with the rounds here. But again, like anything, it comes down to money and how much you have or you can spend. There's another place doing demonstrations of pallet construction here. There was probably 3 or 4 different pallet companies there that make machinery for making pallets. Pretty cool how they run them. Basically, all the wood is pre-cut, so they've got them in bins and they just slap them into place. And the pallet maker, you can see in the background there, is nailing them all together, and worked out pretty cool. So yeah, very cool stuff. There was lots of this going on. You could hear them all around the whole area. You could hear the pallet machines going, the nailers, because it's like almost like gunfire going off, popping there. You can see the pallets on their roller system ready to go. A lot of the pallet mills nowadays are run by the Amish. There were some Amish guys there running them. Chainsaws, there's all the dealers, I'd say all the dealers, a lot of the dealers are at these shows. So if you want to go run a chainsaw, whatever particular flavor you like, if you like the Creamsicle brand here, Steel has all their stuff there. You can try them out. Here's a young lady running a chainsaw for the first time. I think this is the electric one she's running, and then she runs the gas one coming up here pretty soon. So she was pretty excited. She cut off the chunk of wood there. So I don't know, I would have put her hair back. I always think the hair is one of those things, you get that caught in a chainsaw, it's not going to end well. I always think, get it out of there. Kind of like all my hoodies, I either pull the strings completely out of my hoodies, or I cut them off so they're just short, and then I tie a new knot up high so I don't have that string hanging when I lean over with a chain. So yeah, she was pretty excited. She cut some wood. But yeah, all the manufacturers have all the machinery here and tools. You can try them out. There's a big 661, nice saw, very serious. And yeah, you can try all the stuff out. They have the safety gear there. They have the helmets. They have the earplugs, muffs. They got chaps. And you can come try stuff out at all these shows. So if there's a saw show in your area, or a logging show in your area, you should go check them out. It's pretty darn cool. The Bunyan show is going to be coming up in October. I'll be going to that. I'm also thinking I'm going to go to the Ohio show, the show that Joe is having. That's going to be the international show. I think I'm going to be going to that too. So if you're there, stop in and see me. I'll probably be at the Blockbuster booth. I do a lot of stuff there because they send me to these shows, and I get to talk with all the people and answer any questions they have about the Blockbusters, because I've run a lot of their machines and I know enough about them that I can answer questions. Jake's always at the shows too. He knows more than I do, and between the two of us we can talk about it. But look at some of this stuff. Look at that hot saw filler buncher there. That is serious stuff. These Tiger Cats are huge. They had a lot of equipment there, and there was a lot of other brands there, a lot of other manufacturers. Look at this one here. That's a pretty cool one for picking stuff up. Look at that. Yeah, it's just big machinery. And if you got kids, you should take them to these things, because there's so much stuff they can crawl around in and look at and experience that an average kid is obviously not going to get to do. This is the real world kind of working equipment. If you're going to work with any kind of heavy equipment any time in your life, this stuff is really neat to see, and you can try them out. They'll start them up and you can run some of the functions, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, all the different attachments, all the different machines, there's just so much to see. Like I said, it takes probably 2 full days if you're going to look at everything, because if you stop and talk, it takes a lot of time up with talking with some of the vendors that are there. But some very serious equipment. This wheeler equipment, very big, very serious. A lot of dollars worth of equipment there, a lot. But yeah, the best time to go too is right away, early in the morning, the first day, because there's not very many people. You get towards the afternoon, there starts being a lot of people, or if you're there on a weekend like Saturday or Sunday if there's a show, it ends up that there's a lot more people. So you're always better off to go early. That's the best time if you want to actually ask questions, try the stuff out, talk to the vendors. There's always food at the events. Here's a Tiger Cat. Look at the size of that thing. I think it's a mulcher, if I remember correct. I'm not sure. I don't know this equipment that well with the elevator on it. I think that's a chipper or mulcher, some type of a grinder. I'm sure everybody would know there's a big screw attachment for the skid steer for breaking logs in half. Pretty darn cool stuff. And at the Bunyan Show, you'll see a lot of this stuff running. I mean, they have an area where they run all this stuff, and it's very, very impressive to watch. I know the guys that have this equipment, to them it's no big deal, but to an average person that doesn't see this stuff every day, it's very impressive. Vermeer makes a ton of stuff, and they had a whole bunch there. Look at the little elevator in the back. That's just a little guy, isn't it? I think it's a 100-footer. I'm not sure, but that is a serious elevator. Vermeer makes a ton of equipment, a lot of mining equipment, forestry equipment, and stuff like this too. You know, the lumber manufacturer stuff is here. Wood-Miser's at most of the shows. All the different models. You can look at them and try them out and ask questions. So it's very, very cool. If you're showing your area, you should look it up. Just look up logging shows or lumber mill shows or forestry shows, and you'll find something in your area, and you can go check these out. Very cool. It's a good time. Good way to spend the day doing something you enjoy, talking with people that have common interests, and talking with the vendors and finding out what's new and stuff. So there you go. That's all I got for today. Good night, everybody.